Hey everyone, Enoch here with the Urban Gardener's Garden Journal. Thanks again for joining me this week for another video where we're getting started early here in the year. I've got a lot of really good, great weather here in Southern Oregon. I'm taking advantage of it and getting a few things that I need to get done outdoors. So today we're going to be shortening up one of my back carport beds where I have kind of a trellis thing that works really great because I get a lot of great sun there. But I need to shorten one of the beds in order to fit my pepper box that'll be going in a space in the back part of the carport later on in a couple of months. So I want to get that all ready and done now so I don't have to worry about it later. And then we're going to go indoors and mix up some seed starting soil mix so that we can sow out our peppers. It's time to get our peppers started. I'm really excited about that. We're going to be growing a few different great varieties right here in our home gardens. And then, as you saw, I've got a really cool announcement coming up. I'm really excited about. Been working on this for the last few months, getting everything planned and ready to go so that we can have a really cool, fun project for all of you to follow along with, as well as our garden journals and all of that, plus some other things that we got coming up in this season. So I really encourage all of you to get down there and hit that subscribe button. In fact, you want to hit that bell notification so you can be notified of some of these really cool upcoming videos. Plus, get down in the description below and there's a link to our Facebook group, the Let's Get Gardening group. I'd love to have all of you come join us and be able to share all of your gardens, ask questions, and kind of just have fun with our great gardening community that we have there in our group. So hopefully we'll see you there real soon. So all right, let's get started with our first project of the day. This is that back spot of the carport here where we've got the trellis that goes up into the corner here. Just some really great sunlight throughout the season. So this is a great spot to grow in. Got to take advantage of that. But I also got to put my pepper box. Let's show you that here. We got the pepper box, this right here, which is going to have all of our 5-gallon water wicking buckets and peppers is going to have to go right here into this space. But in order for it to fit, we're going to have to cut the box back just a little bit. So that's kind of a project I need to get done just so I don't have to worry about it later on. So we're not going to actually be cutting this box. We're going to move it over. And we'll cut this box back over here, one that I already took some soil out because I needed to fix the inside of it and make a repair. So we'll cut it back, we'll put in some new supports and all of that, and then we'll move this over, shorten that all up, and that should be nice and ready to go to fit that pepper box. So there we go. We've got the end of the bed cut off. We've taken about a little over 12 inches off of the bed there. And now this end right here, we'll just remove these side pieces here, which will leave the back side and the legs so that we can just attach them right to the sides here. Should be easy enough. mission almost accomplished. We did get the big part of this project finished up. As you can see here, the bed is much shorter than it used to be. They were the same size. And as I said, we took about 12 inches or so off, and then we moved over our support beam, cut back our nylon trellis and reattached it. So everything is all set for this bed except for the bottom support beams that we need to install into the bottom of the beds here in order to hold up the bottom and all of the soil. So I need to get some really good bolts that'll hold and support those well enough. And I'm gonna have to do that at a later time. So we'll just wait until we get all of our soil all mixed up here in the next couple of weeks. And when we're gonna fill up the bed, plus top off all of our other beds that we have here in the back carport. Now, let's get this done here. My last project for outside today. As you can see, we've got these wood trellises that we have in these small boxes here where we grow some cucumbers right up those trellises. But they've been in there for a couple of years now, and being such thin wood, there's not much wood there inside the soil. All of those microbes and all those things get to working on and eating away at your wood. So we're gonna keep these trellises. We're just gonna have to cut them just a little bit shorter so we can get all of that bad wood off of there, and then we can put them back in our beds. So all right, everybody, let's talk about peppers. Now, peppers are one of my favorite things to grow in the garden. Now, I know I like growing most everything, but peppers are really up there on the top of the list. And I've kind of amassed myself just a little small pepper seed collection here. Not quite as big as a lot of those pepper lovers out there, but we do got some really great varieties here that I've selected to grow in our gardens this year. And of course, you can see I've got a lot to choose from, and we've narrowed it down to about 18 to 20 different varieties that we're gonna grow in our home gardens. Now, our focus is gonna be mainly on those varieties that we're going to be eating and consuming, even though there's a lot of really cool varieties of plants and pods that I like to just grow for fun. Now, I've got a couple of those still included, but again, for the most part, we're gonna be growing for production. So now let's go over the different varieties that we're gonna be growing really quickly here. I've got this variety here of a sweet habanero. A sweet habanero, can you believe that? It's called a habanada. This is from Botanical Interests, and I grew that out this last year and got to taste a pod, and it's a weird kind of sensation. And if you've ever eaten a habanero before, which is about as hot as I'll ever get when it comes to eating the pepper, but they're extremely hot. And when you bite into one of these sweeter versions, the non-heat versions, still got that same habanero flavor, so your mind for a minute kind of wonders where this is going, but no heat. So great pepper. I like that one, so we're going to continue to grow that one this year. And then also I've got a few varieties from one of my favorite seed companies to grow seeds from, heirloom seeds from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. And I've picked out a couple of these new varieties for us here this year in my garden. This one here is called Etuda. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they're really large. They say up to half-pound pepper pods that grow out orange and really thick and sweet and juicy. I'm looking forward to that. And this variety here, Lesia. Now that picture really just got me of those pods. It's another sweet variety. The color is just stunning. So we want to see how well we can grow those out and how good they actually taste. So I'm really excited about checking out those new varieties. We've got these other varieties here that I've grown over the last couple of seasons. This Purple Beauty here. And this one here I like, is really fun. Really great tasting pepper. This one's called the Tequila Sunrise. And the cool thing about that pepper variety is it grows upright. So all of your peppers are growing straight up, you know, so you got all these really cool orange peppers popping up straight and everything. And then on the warmer end of the scale for us, we've got a Golden Cayenne that we're gonna grow from Baker Creek. I made some pepper powder out of this a couple of seasons ago. Really good, just the right heat. So I'm gonna grow those out again this year and hopefully show you all how we dry those out and all of that too. And then a few of the save seeds that I've got, actually here's one that someone sent me. Only got a couple left too, because my plant I grew out last year that I wanted to save seeds from didn't, again, grow as well as I wanted to, and I didn't end up getting the save seeds, but still got 3 left in there. And these are the Chinese 5-color hot pepper seeds I got from viewer Nancy, and she sent those out to me a couple of seasons ago, so I'm down to the last couple, so hopefully I'll get a couple of good plants out of that, or at least one where I can get some seeds to save for next season and all of that. Those plants are really fun, and now they're just kind of, I grow them more for a decorative part of the garden, you know. They grow upright like the Tequila Sunrise, straight upright, but the cool thing about those is they're all different colors. Almost looks like a pepper Christmas tree in your garden when they're really growing and all the colors are popping just right. So again, kind of excited about putting those back out into the garden again this year. And on the sweeter end, we've got a Golden Marconi I'm gonna grow. I really like those. Those were good peppers. And this variety I got from another friend. They're called the Ajvarsky peppers, another sweeter pepper there. And I got to see pods off of a plant that we saved those seeds from, and they were really, really nice, large-sized pods, so I'm hoping we can get some good ones from that. And then some that I've been growing and saving, the Sugar Rush Peach, really popular variety of pepper that people like to grow in the pepper community. And I did get a variant of that, a stripe version that I got from a grower, Chris Fowler, over in England. He sent me those seeds over. And then I've saved seeds from this variety every single year. It's the one I use the most. This is a pepper I'll probably try to grow forever if I can. It's called a Super Heavyweight. They're just really large, delicious bell peppers. So again, really excited about getting more of those, and on the hotter end, and more of the fun plants that we're going to be growing. We've got this Peach X and a Testanera chocolate pepper varieties that I got from a grower, Drax Diego, over in Italy. He sent me over those seeds to grow, so we'll be trying those out. And then these two here, Orange Flame and Lemon Starburst, from a grower and great friend of our show, and who's actually been on a live cast show that we did last season with our other friend Chris Bransdahl from Norway, but Kang Star. Kang Star is basically the pepper guru in the pepper lovers community, and everybody loves trading around all of his different wonderful varieties of peppers that he grows out. He sent me some seeds this last season, and so we're going to grow out the Lemon Starburst and Orange Flame. Oh, And we can't forget about another one of our mainstays in the garden, just like our super heavyweight that we grow a lot of and use a lot of. I use a lot of these poblano peppers. I have a special little spot in our garden where we grow them out, similar to the super heavyweight, so that we can isolate the seeds to make sure that we've got a good crop the next season. So now that we've got all these great varieties chosen out for our garden this year, I hope that you follow along with us too, so you can keep track with me here as these all grow out. So all right, everyone, let's talk about that announcement that I mentioned just a little bit earlier. I'm really, really excited about this project. It's gonna be so much fun, and I hope that you all follow along with me throughout the season as I keep you updated on its progress. What we're going to be doing is breaking ground on our own micro farm this year. Now, it's going to be video series that'll come out every other Tuesday and give you updates all the way from breaking ground to the end of the season when we have a product to sell at our farmers market. This is going to be really exciting, and I hope you tune in this Tuesday and check out that video and see what we got growing on. So for our indoor seed starting mix, I'm going to share with you all just a simple recipe that I learned years ago on YouTube, and I use it every year. So it can be switched up just a little bit. We've got 2 parts of this cocoa coir. Now cocoa coir, though, just real quickly, comes compressed into bricks. Now I found this small little brick here for small batches of soil if you're going to mix up. There are larger bricks that you can get as well, and all you do is you just soak these in water, and it'll soak up all of that water and expand out into some really nice medium for your soil mix. And this can be switched out as well for peat moss if you'd like as well. So there's a lot of peat starting mixes out there. We got vermiculite. We're going to use 1 part to 2 parts there, 1 part vermiculite, or again, you could switch this out with a finer perlite if you like. And then one that you don't necessarily need, because seeds themselves as they're starting don't really need the nutrients. They've got all the energy they need packed into those seeds to get them going. But I like to add in worm castings to my seed starting mix. So that'll start breaking down, and then the plants will end up using that around the root system later on down in the growing process. So let's mix this all up. We'll get this into our seed starting trays that we have here, and then I'll share with you just a little trick that I use to keep track of all of these pepper varieties that we have. Now that we've got our seed starting soil mix put into our seed starting trays, it is time to sow our seeds. Really excited about getting started here. We do have like 18 to 20 different varieties of peppers that we've got to keep track of here as we plant and sow these out. And it can be really, really time consuming labeling out each and every one of these cells, as there's 72 of them in this seed tray. 72 cells. You can get seed trays that have less cells in them. They just really kind of correspond to how big of a cell that they are. We're using the 72 cells here, and each one of my peppers on this list has a number right next to it. And that number is going to follow that variety throughout its growing process in our gardens. Now, what I'm going to do though, I'm going to use this chart. Now, I learned this method from Gardener Scott on YouTube as well last season, and again, it worked out really well for us. What you want to do is you want to make a mark for your upper corner here on your seed tray that corresponds with the upper corner of your chart that has 72 spots here. And as you plant out each seed from each variety, all you do is put that number in the corresponding cell. Okay? And as these germinate and grow out here in the next few weeks, we'll be transplanting them into another container that they'll grow in until they finally go out into our gardens. And at that point, all we'll do is write the number on one of these craft sticks that'll go into that container with it as it goes into its next spot in the garden later on. And then that way, we'll always know which variety we have, but we won't spend all that time trying to label out each one of these and every time we're trying to transplant it as well too. So all we got to do is look at our chart, check out the number, and we'll know exactly what plant we got. So now we're going to be sowing out all of our great pepper varieties. We'll get them into these seed trays, and then we're going to take them right over here to my seed light station. I'll show you how that all works. All right, everyone, thanks for joining me this week on our garden journal. We got a lot of really good stuff done outdoors with plenty of more projects to come here later on, but we did get our pepper seeds all sown out this week. Really excited about seeing these things grow here real soon. So remember to hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you can be notified of our upcoming garden journals so you can follow along with how these peppers are growing and everything else in our garden. I'll see all of you next week. How do we not think about being in focus before we get started? The perfect take. The perfect take. Everything goes perfect. Everything is great. You say everything right. You don't have to stop. And then you get done and find out you didn't have it in focus. Man, no sound, no focus, all the sort of things that can happen. Not pushing the actual button to get started. I've done it all. I've done it all. Right now, I grew this out last year and got to taste George. George. Shh. I'm not talking to you, dude. Man, oh man, you sometimes, I swear. Food. I gotta get him some food. He's gonna bug me until I get him some food. Come on, George.